My name is Tara Bone, Assistant Vice Chancellor for Operations at Washington University, and today I will share with you information on the Danforth campus long-term parking strategy. This presentation will focus on 4 areas. Why are we undertaking this new strategy? An update on the implementation of the strategy, the resources that are available to you today and in the near future to ensure that we are supporting the implementation of the strategy, and the timeline over the next few months. So why a new parking strategy? As we continue to increase and enhance our academic programs, it's imperative that we prioritize how we utilize our land to ensure that we support these programs. It's important that we use our current parking resources, the spaces that we have in parking lots and in garages, as efficiently as possible to ensure that individuals who access and move around our campus have spaces every day. Specifically, the parking spaces that I'm referring to are on the Danforth campus, the West campus, North campus, and the South 40. We currently have an ample amount of spaces in this pool of resources. During the academic year, we have more than 250 spaces that are open and available on the South 40. As well as at West Campus, we have over 650 spaces that are open on a regular basis. So it's important that we align the strategy and these resources to individuals that need to utilize those areas where we have the open spaces. We also have a lot of visitors on our campus every day, and so we need to provide these visitors with a good parking experience when they come to campus. And finally, we are always looking at ways to reduce individuals' reliance on cars and vehicles. And so how can we increase opportunities for low-footprint alternatives with our alternative transportation programs? At the beginning of creating this new parking and transportation strategy, we developed some basic strategic principles. The strategy should increase the use of our existing parking resources and align the capacity and the demand. We also want to reduce the amount of time that individuals hunt for a space. Individuals that currently have permits, what I hear a lot from them today, is that they're constantly hunting for a space. While we'll never be able to eliminate the need to hunt, we want to reduce the amount of time, and moving to a new zone strategy, which I'll mention here in a few minutes, will help us do that. We also want to make sure that we're providing a good experience for our visitors, and so we want to meet the visitor demand at least 90% of the year. The great aspect of this new strategy as well is that it will not only provide us with a long-term plan, but we want to also create something that supports our campus during the 2-year construction that's going to be coming up on the East End. And so we're going to utilize the East End transformation as a catalyst to implement our new parking and transportation strategy. So the numbers. We currently have over 6,700 parking spaces available on the Danforth campus, West campus, North campus, and the South 40. Once the East End construction is complete in May of 2019, we will have approximately 145 less spaces. So you might ask, what are we going to do then when we have less spaces? And this was an important aspect of our strategy as well. We wanted to ensure that we were creating a strategy that not only supported our needs during the construction, but also carried us long beyond the construction completion. So we implemented a couple of things. One example is the current first-year students are not allowed to bring a vehicle to campus. We will be extending that to sophomores or second-year students beginning with fall 2017 academic year. This change in practice will open up or free up approximately 250 permits or open spaces for our faculty, staff, and visitors. In addition, today we currently have several construction maintenance individuals who park on our campus. Once we begin the new strategy, these individuals will not be allowed to park on our campus. It will be a drastically reduced amount of construction vehicles that will be on our campus, again, freeing up space for our faculty, staff, and visitors. Some of the plan highlights for the new parking strategy. We will be moving to a 5-zone system with 2 main permit types. These permits will be the red permit, which we currently have today, and the red permit in the future will act very similar to the way it does now. It will allow individuals to park in any of the zones. An individual that chooses to purchase a yellow permit will purchase a yellow permit that is tied to a specific zone. Permits will be valid for 1 year, and anyone that's interested in purchasing a permit for their vehicle will be required to go through the lottery or a registration process. The permits in the future will be aligned to the academic year. And as I previously mentioned, currently first-year students are not allowed to bring a vehicle to campus, and beginning with the fall of 2017, sophomores will also not be allowed to bring a vehicle to campus. This image provides you with a visual of the parking zones. As I mentioned, there are 5 zones. Zone 1 is all of the parking resources that are east of Brookings Hall and are represented in the purple shaded area on this map. Zones 2 and 3 could be separated with an imaginary line that goes right down Throop Drive, and zones 2 and 3 are in the core of the Danforth campus. Zone 2 is represented in this shaded green area and includes all of the parking spaces in this zone, which would be spaces on surface lots as well as the duck garage. Zone 3 includes all of the lot spaces as well as parking spaces in Snowway and Millbrook Garage. Zone 4 is all of the South 40 as well as the underground lofts garage, which is located on Delmar. And Zone 5 is both West Campus and North Campus. As you can see, during construction, which will begin May 22nd, 2017, until May of 2019, Zone 1 will be unavailable for parking. The lottery and registration process. This process is going to be very important to help us manage the number of permits that we sell for each zone, ensuring that we don't oversell permits for each zone. The lottery will begin the 3rd week of April, and we will make sure that we provide you with detailed communications and instructions on how the lottery will work before we open up the lottery. Faculty and staff and students will provide their first, second, and third choice in the lottery. And because we know that we will have a large number of reduced spaces on the Danforth campus during construction, we know that individuals will not receive their first and second choice, especially if they choose to purchase a permit on the Danforth campus. So we will create a wait list. And when an individual changes their mind about a permit and it opens up a space in a particular zone, we will contact the individuals on the wait list to see if they're interested in purchasing the next permit. More details about the lottery, as well as permit prices, will be shared with you in a communication early in April. It's important to remember that anyone who wants or needs to purchase a permit of any kind will need to enter the lottery and registration process, regardless of whether they have a permit now or not. ParkSmart and new West Campus shuttles. We currently have off-site and remote parking that's located at West Campus. And this parking is available for individuals whose primarily workplace is not at West Campus. We are continuing with this approach and just simply calling it now ParkSmart. It will be a ParkSmart permit, again available for individuals whose primary workplace is not West Campus. So if you work at the Danforth campus, you are a resident or a student that lives on the South 40, or if you're located at North Campus, you will have the option to purchase the ParkSmart. And this is a low-cost option for individuals. With this option, we're going to be implementing 2 new West Campus shuttles, and we're going to start that on March 31st. We're starting it before the strategy is implemented because we want individuals to try it out, and we want to hear from you. The shuttles will run starting at 7 a.m. until 10 p.m., Monday through Friday, year-round. And we anticipate that they will be able to run back and forth from West Campus to the core of the Danforth campus at Mallinckrodt at least every 15 minutes, probably something more like every 10 to 12 minutes. Again, we're going to start this on March 31st, and I really would like for you to try this out in the month of April. We'll be creating some incentives and some exciting programs around this, and we want to hear from you. We will be prepared to increase the shuttles during certain hours if we find that there are peak times when it's being utilized more. For example, in the morning hours or at the end of the day. We're going to be ready to make adjustments to the shuttle routes and the times if necessary. And just as a reminder, there are 5 University Metrolink stations or stops very close to campus. We have one at West Campus, 2 at the Danforth campus, North Campus, and also the Medical School campus. Some additional highlights for the new parking strategy. The Barely Drivers and occasional parking programs will continue. The official business permit, which is currently available, will also be available with the implementation of the strategy. The way the official business permit currently works is it's a red permit that is coupled with a yellow permit, and it allows an individual to park in a space for up to 2 hours. We're going to be continuing this, but we're going to extend that to allow you to park in a space for up to 3 hours. And it will allow you to move from zone to zone. Visitor parking will be consolidated to the Danforth University Center Garage, the Snowway Garage, and the Millbrook Garage. Daily permits will no longer be sold at the campus store starting June 30th, 2017, and their use will eventually be phased out. By early 2018 at the latest, we'll install technology in the Snowway and Millbrook garages that'll allow parkers to pull a ticket and pay, eliminating the need for these daily permits in these garages. What support resources are available? Currently, the Parking and Transportation website is the best place for you to go. At parking.wustl.edu, we have a tab called 2017 Changes that will allow you to look at a very extensive FAQ section answering multiple questions for you. And that would be the best place to go to understand and learn more about the strategy. In addition, we currently have in place a dedicated staffed hotline, both a phone number and an email. The phone number is 314-935-3616, and the email address is newparkingplan@wustl.edu. An individual is available to answer and respond to any questions or concerns that you have regarding the strategy, and will be back in touch with you within 24 to 48 hours. We are also creating some on-demand resources such as this recording and presentation and slide deck available to you at any time. We'll be creating some webinars that'll be available so that if you're unable to attend a presentation and learn more about the strategy, you can go online at your leisure and learn more about it. We want to make sure that you're prepared and have all the information about this strategy. And finally, we're going to be implementing a new interactive map in early April. This map is going to be beneficial to help you understand and see, for example, where the accessible spaces are, where the accessible pathways are, especially during construction. We'll provide you with a lot of information, something that we're pretty excited about showing you. An additional resource that's available to you today is one-on-one consultations and presentations by our Alternative Transportation Coordinator, Becca Gilberg. Becca is a great resource that's available to you today. She's an expert on all of our alternative transportation options and programs. She can sit with you in a one-on-one consultation, gather your personal information on how you access campus, how you commute to campus today, and give you advice and guidance on the best way to utilize all of our programs. We know that there's not one alternative program that works for everyone, so pick your mix. Choose which way works best for you. Some key dates for you to keep in mind over the next few months. At the end of March, specifically March 31st, we will implement and start the new West Campus Shuttles. During the month of April, it will be busy. We want you to try out the new West Campus Shuttle. We want to get your feedback. We're going to communicate permit prices at the beginning of April, and we're also going to provide you with detailed instructions on how the lottery will work. We'll open up the lottery for faculty, staff, and students around the 3rd week of April. And then on May 22nd, construction begins, and all parking spaces that are east of Brookings Hall will not be available. In the month of June, we'll distribute the faculty and staff permits, and on June 30th, we'll end the sale of daily permits at the campus store. July 1, 2017 is when the new zone parking strategy will begin. And at the latest, January of 2018, we'll have the technology installed in the Danforth University Center Garage, the Snowway Garage, and Millbrook Garage. So what can you do? First, please visit the Parking and Transportation website at parking.wustel.edu and get familiar with the new parking strategy and the plans. The detailed FAQ is your best resources to get answers. Another great thing for you to do is to schedule some time with Becca Gilberg, our Alternative Transportation Coordinator. Becca can provide you with one-on-one consultations on the best way to utilize our alternative transportation programs. Becca's also available to come speak with departments and groups to help them understand all of their resources and options as well. And please take advantage of the opportunities to learn more about this strategy. And for faculty and staff, I encourage you to talk with your supervisor about your work schedule and the opportunity for flexible work arrangements. And finally, provide us with your feedback and ideas. We can't think of everything, and so your ideas are important to us. So please share those thoughts at newparkingplan@wustel.edu.